as it is, okay, with Anyanwu, okay, making some demands, which is not going down well with people like Bala, people like Peter Mba, and people like now Mankinde, pitching the tent with them. So Wike is essentially asking one thing, that he believes the judgment of the Supreme Court said that Anyanwu should be the National Secretary of PDP, that should be accepted as it is. And two, that the judgment, the National Legal Advisor of PDP should initiate the withdrawal of the case they have, for Rivers State. I don't know how that has become his interest anyway. But putting all together, I still think they have a very single problem to solve. The people from Peter Mba's camp, that's the Southeast people, are saying they want to Okoye. Do you understand?
Yes.
This is who we want.
Yes.
This is not a big deal. To me, this is not a big deal. It's not sufficient to cause fracas. If this is the only problem they have to solve, they have to come out. That is why I say I hope they are not acting movies. If they are not acting movies, they should simply come out. Okay, Anyanwu and Okoye, two of you come. This party, all of us come together. Mind you, they have a meeting for tomorrow, 27th. Yes. Let's hope it holds. And
there's even a meeting today.
Yeah, but maybe to precede that of tomorrow.
The board of trustees have a meeting.
Yes, they can't solve it at that level. Hopefully, they want that for tomorrow. Of course, because call for neck earlier in the year. They kept postponing it, for one reason or the other. Let's hope it holds tomorrow. If after tomorrow, if the meeting is able to hold, and after tomorrow they are not able to resolve, we might start seeing a fracas that might not go through, an insincere fracas. What do I call insincere fracas? You could have easily agreed with yourself, but you choose not to. You can't say you want to solve a problem and you can't trade in something. Do you understand?
Yeah.
When you hold on to what you said you want, it means you don't want the problem solved. So if Wike holds on to what he wants, he doesn't want it solved. If Peter Mba and Co and Mankinde, want to hold on to theirs, it means they don't want it solved. And that of Peter Mba and Bala should be sure Mankinde is with them, because Mankinde has always been with Wike. They have to be sure.
And he has an agenda.
Well, you have an agenda. Everybody has an agenda.
So. All right. Mankinde on one side, Wike on one side. The governor, some teaming up with Wike, some teaming up with Mankinde. And Wike, the way it is right now, one leg in PDP, one leg in APC. Do you think he will want something that will work for the PDP?
Well, I wouldn't say one leg in PDP, one leg in APC. If you want something that will work with for PDP, he really wants something that will work for him. In as much as I am not fully in support of ideas of feeling that Wike has been a very hard person in PDP issues, and even suspicious of PDP being influenced internally by APC to cause this crisis, because there seems to be, until now, the strongest opposition of APC. I want to look at it. The demand Wike is making is, to me, is simple. Supreme Court have passed a judgment. Respect this judgment of Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court, if I'm not mistaken, is the highest of all our courts in the Federation. So what is wrong in accepting that demand? If Supreme Court said this man that should be returned as the secretary,
is that essentially what the Supreme Court said, or the Supreme Court said
they should go back to their constitution, which they have interpreted to mean that Anyanwu is the one, which is still like what he said.
Yes.
That's why I said, is it that they don't want the problem solved? If they want the problem solved, if Anyanwu becomes the secretary, national secretary, what will happen to PDP?
I do not know.
Do you understand? On the other hand, for any reason, because let me tell you, if you go back to the issues of not holding two offices, it is about not holding two offices within the party. There's nothing that says that you cannot hold a party office and also submit yourself for election. There is no such law. Do you understand? Every party constitution, virtually all the ones I've read, you understand? They don't want you to hold two positions within the party. You understand? You can be a national secretary of a party and also contest for election. Do you understand? But it's out of concentration, on what you are going to do, that the party will not say, okay, relinquish this. Do you understand? So when the Supreme Court has issued, what they should do is to come together and see whether they are misinterpreting the Supreme Court judgment. Almost the same thing happening in Labour Party. Do you understand? But they don't want to come together. And now you begin to ask yourself whether this is a sincere differences or they are trying to use those differences to hold sway for APC so that PDP will not be at peace.
Do you think they are trying to use these differences, especially the parties concerned, Mankinde or Wike? Do you think they are trying to? Because you see, they supported Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu during this first tenure. I don't see why Mankinde will take a new turn right now, since though there were rumors that he was going to try and vie for the presidency. Do you think they're using it as a tactics to hold down PDP for APC?
Well, everything is possible in politics. Everything is possible in politics because today, either you like it or not, Wike is fully, actively an APC indirect member. Everything he does today, his services to the country today, his appointment is given to him by APC. He's never done anything that will go contrary to the interest of APC, and that is why this suspicion is there. Do you understand? Mankinde on the other side, of course, apart from him making utterances one time about wanting to become president, to go for the presidency. You see, in politics, I can plant you if you are loyal to me or you are my supporter. I can put you in another party to go for a position there, and then weaken the strength of the party. So, like Fayemi said during was it his birthday or the last occasion?
Yeah, it was his birthday.
Okay, it was his birthday. We are becoming confused by what is happening in PDP because, like he has rightly said, these guys are friends. These are sitting governors at the moment. Are they saying that the PDP do not have a structure that can control its crisis? They've come to a limit whereby now they should be able to sit down as members, colleagues, and agree. Okay, fine. If this is done, moreover, if you're a secretary, you won't be a secretary. It's not a lifetime appointment.
Because the secretary holds a lot of sway in the party. Most of the letters are signed by the secretary.
And then invariably, I don't know, but Wike may want to be influencing for his own interest and for interest of APC. Only these two parties understand what interest they are protecting.
Do you think that there is a sincerity on the part of all parties, including...
This is the question we should be asking Saraki.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean, does Saraki believe Wike wants to reconcile? Does Saraki believe Wike wants PDP to be at peace? When they are making this effort, I know how, the kind of attachments they have to PDP. This is the party that made some of them, even while they have dabbled into
made
APC.
all of them.
All of them, even while they have dabbled into APC and dabbled back. Okay, Saraki needs to ask himself. He appears to be the only front that is a little bit sincere with the reconciliation, that they want in PDP. The Saraki-led, do I call them faction or interest?
Yes.
Rather. Okay. So, but that of Mankinde standing with Bala and standing with Peter Mba, I'm not too certain yet. Bala has always been a forthright PDP person, no doubt. Wike, why he has remained in PDP, has always worked for his interest. And as it is now, he wants to work for, he said he's not going to contest against Asiwaju, because he's working for him. They can't contest against Asiwaju. So, do you think he will support somebody that want to contest against Asiwaju? That's invariably working against Asiwaju. So, how do you start? It is now. So, I don't see Wike being in a sincere part. But again, no political party will sit down and say, okay, let's wish away 2027 and convert thereafter. It is difficult for people like Saraki. Otherwise, hand over PDP to Wike and see what he does with it.
That's always been your position.
Yes, and see what he does with it. But it's difficult for them to do, no doubt about that.
Now, everything circles around Wike. Whether it's APC or, let me not say APC.
The APC doesn't quite circle around it.
But the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in a form, circled around Wike. In a form.
It's a serious pillar there.
Exactly. Not the APC structure, but the government is
general structure.
Then the PDP structure as a party circles around Wike. How did it get here?
I think there was a time that the PDP real men were angry for so many things and then they relaxed. that was when Wike was still having the ambition of becoming the president of the country, and he put in all his own personal effort and resources and made sure that PDP didn't go down. At that time, he was able to have formed his own structure and have a serious hold on PDP and funded PDP to the best of his ability. That is where the problem lies. After the 2023 elections, that then they of course they decided to now put their differences aside and wanting to be coming back. They had gone out of their houses. Somebody had kept the home. Somebody has secured the home. He now knows he has changed the security of the home. He has, just like you traveling out of Aso Rock, coming back, the security arrangement has been changed. My brother, you need the man that changed that security arrangement to allow you access to every corner of that.
So how did he get into the presidency in a very vital way?
I think out of anger, not on record, but out of anger for what he felt PDP did to him in the primaries. We all saw he shifted his support to Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu ambition of becoming the president. And he has also said it even now that people should forget 2027, that even him is not ready to contest against Ahmed Asiwaju. And of course, that is where that feeling of him holding on to PDP, he want to put his own people he'll be able to reach out to, even during the general election, to work for his interest, because he has said it openly.
All right. Do you think that Wike, in his own respect, will support a candidate that comes from PDP?
Who instigated the emergence of Ali Modu Sharif as a party chairman? Who instigated the emergence of Secondus? Who instigated the emergence of Ayo, even before he later became not for his purpose. Yeah. You know, Wike has been a pillar in PDP. Asking how he got here, I mean, it's a question that you already know the answer. He has been a pillar in PDP, and he has been supporting PDP. Even he supported Tambolwa. Do you understand? During 2019 election, when he felt a northern person, it was a time of the north. Check his consistency in as much as you are against the way he acts. Check his consistency. In 2019, he felt it was still the turn of the north. He supported Tamboa to contest against Buhari then.
But he has always admitted to that he has made mistakes.
Yes, I'm coming. So, and at the end of the day, in 2023, Tamboa left him, stepped down against him to support Atiku when he was torn of the south. Wike has right to anger, and the way to demonstrate his anger was to support Asiwaju, and he has not regretted that part. That's the only part he has not regretted. Okay, was to support Asiwaju. And
Asiwaju, sure one day will not.
He said,
are you sure one day he will not?
Yeah, maybe one day we are humans. So, and at the end of the day, Asiwaju won. Asiwaju knew this is somebody that was to win Atiku in the primaries until Tamboa stepped down. Removing their late minute step down, you could say Wike was the most popular person in PDP. Atiku has really never won anything apart from by stepping down syndrome. And that's also where we are facing today. People telling Obi to be his vice. I can tell you, we saw this coalition. I think we are going to talk about that very soon. You see that Atiku is never able to hold sway on his own until people step down. The Wike was the most popular person in PDP in 2023. You can't rule that away. And you think Asiwaju